In today's Turn 7 Top Tips video, we're going to take you through how to remove your bonnet and nose cone. Now there are a few different versions of these, as Caterham used many different engines over the years, some of which have carburetors that stick through the bonnets with a combination of large cycle wings which make them very awkward to remove, where other more modern cars have air filters pressed up against the side of the bonnet on a different side. So we're just going to take you through the variations and our best top tips for how to do it safely. So no matter what Caterham you have, all bonnets are held on with the same 4 catches. At the back we have these little rocker catches which simply latch over the top of the receiving hook on the bonnet and pull tight. At the front we have sprung loaded catches. Now with these it's really important to just remember that the hook here is for your finger and the ring is for the bonnet catch. I know that sounds obvious, but I have seen a good number of cars come in over the years like that, which obviously is not safe. Now a top tip for these, so many of these sprung loaded catches rattle and tap against the side skin of the car, and I've seen a lot of people over the years put small pieces of fabric or rubber there to prevent them from rattling. Where in actual fact, if you take these off, you can stretch them out at the bottom, just bend it down, and then you'll find it won't foul the side skin anymore. This is quite a modern Caterham, and as such it has an air filter which presses against the passenger side skin of the bonnet. So we need to be mindful of that as we take the bonnet off. So once we've removed all 4 of the catches, I stand on the driver's side, but feel free to do this however you feel best. Lift the bonnet upwards and then push it clean off to make sure that we get around that air filter at the side before taking your bonnet off. When it comes to handling your bonnet, make sure that you get your fingers under either side, so back and front, to be able to lift up cleanly. Don't try and hold your bonnet across either side. At the end of the day, it's a thin sheet of aluminium and you can bend them quite easily. Once your bonnet's in your hand, you will find that these will stand up on their ends quite nicely. But a word of caution, these will blow over really easily. A very small gust of wind will have this falling flat on all of these really nice vents and making a horrible mess of your bonnet. So try and avoid doing that. If you are going to stand it up on end, turn it around and place it up against a wall where it can't be blown over. If you don't want to stand it up on end, I would strongly advise that you just lay it on the ground as it would stand on the bonnet and make sure that there aren't any dogs or small children around who might use it as a trampoline. Alternatively, they actually hang very well, so if you've got a convenient wall, just try popping it up on there. All Caterham nose cones are fitted using Zeus fasteners. Now there are 4 of these, 1 on either side of the bonnet and 2 underneath the front number plate. Now traditionally you'd remove these with a stumpy screwdriver, but we've made life a little bit easier for ourselves and created our own custom keyrings, which are designed to perfectly fit these fasteners. Now, if you'd like to get yourself one of these for free, keep watching and we'll tell you how. So we're just going to undo each of these Zeus fasteners. Top 2 first, then underneath. Keep your hand on the nose cone. You don't want it falling forwards while the bottom ones are still done up. There we are. Once you've removed your fasteners, the nose cone will just tilt slightly forwards and neatly slide off. When putting your nose cone back on, we're just carefully sliding it between the headlights. Now these all fit slightly differently, so just a bit of patience as you're fitting it. And I do the top Zeus fasteners first because they just help to keep it in place and give you some stability. And then we're just coming down underneath the car, and you may find that you need to maneuver or manipulate the nose cone until you find the Zeus fastener underneath. It's then just a quarter turn to tighten those up. With your modern day engines, when it comes to putting your bonnet back on, the only importance is making sure that we get over the top of that air filter and then pulling it back into position. If your car has a bonnet and nose cone decal kit, you may find that they don't quite line up properly. There'll be an order to doing up your bonnet catches, which will pull the stripes into the correct position. Most Caterham bonnets are quite easy to remove. Now this is where it gets a little bit difficult. This is a cross-flow engine Caterham, which means it has carburetors sticking out of the side of the bonnet. To make matters worse, it has flared wheel arches, which gives us very little room to manoeuvre said bonnet. So the best technique for these is to lift the bonnet up from the passenger side, push it wide of the carburetors, tilt the back up, and then slide it backwards past the carburetors to remove. Putting it back on is largely the reverse. So we're just into position, sliding it forwards over the carburetors, dropping the back, and tucking over the car. So that's it for our Turn 7 top tips video on how to remove your bonnet and nose cones with various different types of engines. We hope you found it helpful, and as always, do share your comments below if you've got your own best top tips. If you'd like one of our Turn 7 keyrings for removing your nose cone, we've left a form in the description below. Just complete that for us and we'll put one in the post to you. But for now, that's all. Okay, hands out of pockets and all that jazz.